do that. Hi, how are you guys doing?
Hi, we're good. How are you?
All right, I'm hanging in there.
Yeah.
They tell me who I was interviewing. Well, I mean, they kind of did an email, but I was waiting in the room, and all of a sudden, you were there. So I'm a little. Oh, here I am. So, I went on a Facebook group for Brea that I joined a while back, and I asked if anybody had questions for you guys, and they came up with some really good questions. So I'm just going to ask you their questions.
Oh, that's a great idea. I told my dad that song. Sorry.
Yeah, that's right. Courtney asks what you can tell us, either of you, about how Veronica and Ella's relationship develops further this season.
Ooh,
Well, I
really?
think yeah, I think at the start of the season, we are for Veronica, she's still, it's been one day since she's seen Lily, baby Lily. Baby and so the opportunities are just abundant when Ella comes back, and she's had 30 years up in the future, and I think there's so much joy in reuniting. There's anger, there's sadness, there's fear, and that's sort of the jumping off point. And then there's also the regret, the guilt that Veronica has, which stops them from really being able to explore their relationship as it could be now. And then after episode 4, I don't know if you've seen, or I don't know, it's out. So after episode 4, when they are at a point where it sort of all needs to be said, they have the opportunity to reestablish their relationship and trust each other again and rely on each other. And so they can start going on adventures together or asking each other for advice. And it really is great to find the relationship that they had when they were young, like kids, through this trauma, to now being like, we're just two adults now, right?
Michelle, what was your take on it?
I think that audiences, what they've seen in episode 4, they might expect this relationship to, be semi, what's the word? Like friendlier. And I think it's funny now because we've just finished shooting episode 12, and I'm just trying to think of, as an audience member, what they're going to think of this trajectory and this development of this relationship now. And I'm a bit scared, to be honest. But I'm sort of, it's really nice to see Veronica finally, letting go of a lot of that guilt and just embracing more relationships in a positive way. And I think audiences are going to really enjoy that.
Okay. Lily, did you know, how long ago did they tell you, oh, your little sister is going to become your big sister?
Like most of the show, we find out last minute. So we find out sort of at the very last moment that you need to know. You'll get a script, or it was when I read it was in season 1 when it was revealed in the script that she found out for herself. She was like, oh my God, I'm Lily. And that's when I found out. And so when we got the season 2 script, it's just like, oh, she's coming down. And so it was basically the moment of seeing her for the first time was, 2 days after I learned I'd be seeing her for the first time. So it was exciting. And I was like, I don't know how the heck I'm going to play that, because it's just so complex. There's so many emotions involved in that reunion.
So they give you one script at a time, or how many ahead of time before shooting do you get?
One at a time, and each episode takes about 2 weeks to shoot. No, not about. It does take 2 weeks to shoot, and you might get you'll get like a script maybe 5 to 7 days before that. That's about right. So you really don't have a lot of time to prepare in terms of
yeah, that was actually a question already from Paul, and he also wanted to know if they tell you anything in general about the direction of the show, or they just let you look at the scripts and that's it.
Some people really are proactive about it and will reach out to the creators or the writers and producers and ask specifically, and then maybe you can find out some information. Otherwise, you show up day of and the script's already changed sometimes for what you have to do that day. So it's constantly changing, and it's exciting and challenging because you want to be truthful, you want to remain truthful all the time, but you don't know where your character is going to lead. So you might act something a certain way, and you sort of have to rely on the creators and trust and the writers and the directors and trust them to lead you in the right direction, just in case you have to do something that's completely opposite from what your instinct might have been, you know?
Right.
It's a surprise to us too.
Well, since you're on episode 12, can you just tell me whether we ever find out in that time, yes or no? I mean, you don't have to tell me the answer, but whether we find out why Ella and Gavin lost their memories going through the sinkhole the other way, and the others don't seem to lose their memory.
Oh, yeah, that's really interesting actually, because I don't know if you've seen episode 5. I don't think this is it's not a spoiler if you haven't seen it, but
I think I have.
So it might be a spoiler. I won't. I'll just say another character does actually mention this experience, and they just say, "I just don't remember anything from after going through time." But yeah, I don't know, because then you have the guys who just went into 1988, and they have. Well, I'm just not quite sure.
Yeah, I was just curious if they happen to bring it up in the script or not.
Yeah,
they do. Yeah.
Okay. Well, great. Thank you. I really appreciate that. Telling me it's time to go, and thank you for talking to me today. And I look forward to seeing the rest.
Thank you so much.
Nice to meet you.
You too. Bye-bye.
Bye.